So here is a LETSCAST story. Good. The LETSCAST story is based on the 21 years of work that we had done in the media industry. And the general idea for us is to be able to uh, understand the requirements of different clients because we do uh, different events from watch parties all the way to real-time event streaming. So the most important thing for us is understanding how the client wants to do. So some of the ideas that we are sharing with you is a result of that. So when I move this screen out of here and put myself on this screen right now for the screen sharing, is I want to be able to speak with you and give you some idea first. And then from the presentation, you have a better understanding. This room that right now you're seeing being streamed is provided by our ZimZim platform. Our ZimZim platform is a real-time communication for ultra-low latency that it accommodates, and it connects also to Zoom and connects to RTMP streaming. But the main idea for us was to accommodate different kind of settings in this room that we can make that available through a webcam for executives in different locations and bring them into a streaming room. So with that in mind, then we normally bring them into, call it ICDN, like this kind of rooms that you see, or we bring them into Let's Cast that we are about to feature and show you, like you're seeing in here. So on here, the live events, for example, when they appear, as you can see, they show and they display themselves. So therefore the users can choose the one that they wish to attend. And every one of these are set up based upon different settings. We've done that purposely. For example, when we featured Esports Award 2020 in partnership with our partners, V2 Video and with Twitch, this was an event that obviously had nothing to do, for example, with the event that we are about to launch with Latinorific and so forth. But the general idea is there are different players connected to one player that it allows through AI and machine learning, it multi-channel itself. So for example, right now, if I go to attend a meeting in here, then you probably see me, that I'm showing you the features. So this is the general idea. Now let me give you a little PowerPoint presentation on this. So therefore you can get an overview of what the components are and how things are working. On LETSCAST, one of the things that we decided to do was to connect it to several platforms of ours, from Pixel on a low connectivity bit rates to uh, areas where we can provide ZimZim as a point of communication, or third-party service providers. Some people may prefer Zoom, WebEx, GoToMeeting, Team, etc., etc. So as we are moving more into the standardization of WebRTC and real-time communication, our goal is to help our challenged partners that they are doing events, either in private or an open house. They can do this kind of activity with one or Omnicast. So what you saw earlier that I was having technical difficulties was based upon the settings that Restream had set up, and we had to make some changes. Now we are streaming this event through Omnicast for all the viewers. But at the same time, what we are doing is showing you how these components are coming together. So ZimZim connected now to connectivity of our streaming coming from the LETSCAST, and now you get to see what happens. ZimZim rooms are designed, like I said, from a configuration can allow up to 24 people to come into an event. It is designed for the host, for the influencers, for the promoters to bring their guests and do the kind of things that we are talking about. In fact, we will be using it ourselves starting next month. We will have once a month guest events that they're going to be talking about what we call informational, educational, or even entertainment subject, that it can be dear and allow you to understand how things can work to the benefit. In this room, for example, that you see as a LETSCAST, we can accommodate call to action buttons, for example. We can stream the content. The content is coming from HSN Studio. It's connected to the cameras. And as it's connected to the cameras in here, then it's connected to the Avid, to the CDN, and to the LETSCAST. So as you see those functionalities and so forth that is happening here, now that accommodates the variety of option along with the chat. So bringing the content and connecting it to a chat mode and allowing everybody to communicate and share that content in real-time broadcasting is one of the areas. Now, these obviously rooms can be accommodating different sizes of viewership, from one or few all the way to tens and hundreds of thousands of people. But there is also a subject on the chat that we will be releasing in the next few weeks, which we will be talking about, because chat, it's a subject of its own. There are different kind of chat we do. We do private chat, we do public chat, we do chat to the moderators for questions and answers. And then we want to keep these kind of things because we may not have time and availability to answer all of that questions. But we can also have it fed through predictive analytics and be able to find out about our keywords and then apply the keywords into our business and marketing strategies. So the way that it works is very simple. You can create an event from a point of view that this can have dates, times, and so forth, like we did just recently as a use case for ourselves. Welcome to NETSTAIRS Video First, real-time broadcast utilizing LETSCAST AI with AWS IVS, which we were just previously doing, connected to 5,000 channels, 200 concurrent, and 15,000 streaming that we've set up. Along with other CDN partners such as Akamai, Limelight, Kalturos. I can go through a list of who is who. But then when the event starts, you can also connect it to buying a ticket. So the ticket also and the events can be scheduled with the top 12 networks that is being seen by public. One of the reasons is this platform by itself is licensed to companies that they produce and output content, such as Chamber of Commerce, publishers, and so forth. So they can catalog their own content, they can cast their own content, they can create live content, and be able to build the channels. So when the channels are built on a customized network with different settings, these labels based on point of interest can definitely come from your client and your user-centric base, because you want to understand what they want and what their level of interest is. So for example, in this case, we have meetings, TV channels, news, etc. So we know where these channels can reflect. When a channel gets recreated, like a TV channel, then automatically you can create within that network different channels. And these channels that you see in here, like Mellow TV, Jewelry TV, Dutch World, Bloomberg, Zimzing, Sky, and etc., are basically the channels that you can enter. And then channels have different sets of requirements based on broadcaster, with user ID passcode, with passwords, with different kind of settings or open session. So in this particular case, when we were doing the live events, as you can see, right now we are feeding it through Omnicast channel. Previously, we were doing the LETSCAST IVS, and then we are working with partners such as V2 Video and so forth, that they facilitate services through their own services. So LETSCAST can accommodate different kind of players. That is one of the main reasons that we want to share with you, and understand that your diversity allows you to bring it into a singularity of LETSCAST player. A typical setting for, let's say, Eventbrite is selling a ticket, like we were just simplifying. So some of our colleagues can get a ticket. Tickets could be sold for free, or tickets could be sold for a piece of the action based on your subscription or event or rights management that you're providing. And along with that, then we basically start the broadcast event. This is a typical page that normally see with share screen buttons, with full viewing, and with information in there that you can share with the QR and everything else, along with the chats side by side. Also, you can do streaming without the chat. So all of these options are available inside LETSCAST. Example of one of the things from a use case was last year in Madrid, Spain, for one of our PTLA partners. V2 Video, we featured the world's first interactive concert. So that had a lot of findings, and subsequent events took place in November for the holiday season. And we see this trend is manifesting itself to what we call watch party now. So the watch party now has manifested itself into many areas, including the creation of interactive OTT that NETSTAIRS developed and introduced to the market. So you can have content to be here and you can have watch party. We will be making a series of content-driven announcements with different strategic partners. And this partnership can also become available for some of the other channel and distributions that they would like to facilitate and bring this kind of content to create a better viewing and experience. But the whole thing is about user experience, about the streaming that it can come from different settings, enabling through LETSCAST, we bring them all together and then feature that to the audience. One area that it was very important in the marketing for us from our brands that we are serving is their e-commerce and their influencer streams. So obviously one of the areas that we always want to help them out is connecting themselves to their influencers and then have them to stream through these LETSCAST channels and influence e-commerce. We have seen tremendous impact in some of our ASEAN markets, Asia Pacific market, with some of our clients range from areas of Hong Kong that they are building platforms with multi-streaming session going on simultaneously for different streaming services that they'll be featured from fashion to different novelty items sold based upon the sponsors and the e-commerce providers. But at the same time, again, the whole idea of the broadcasting is making it interactive. So it's not just sending it to them, but making them to understand and also bring that into a highly scalable platform. So working with the popular CDNs around the globe ourselves, at least with some of our oldest technology partners such as Akamai, has given us a diverse experience about this kind of setting. So normally what happens is we feed that information in here, and then we have some of the other strategic partners in here that in the future we will describe and share with you, that when you use LETSCAST, it can actually, with certain features that we have enabled in here, become a CDN saver. It can save you money on CDN delivery. So we will definitely feature some of those in the future and educate you on those subjects. Along with that, a lot of people that they ask us, what do we need to get these things started? We normally tell them that you really need on the left side in the circle, a good device, webcams, or quality professional cameras, your devices that you use for your communication, from Zoom rooms to various communication that you want to. You connect that to your Avid system or XSplit or OBS. If you don't know how to do those kind of things, we obviously assist you. There are third parties that they do some of these online. Some of them are desktop. Most studios that we work with, they are very, equipped with various aspects of Avid systems. So we don't have any of difficulty with them. But for consumers or the clients that they are getting experience and they want to use these kind of things, we provide some additional services and assistance, including CDN that you provide us with your M3U8 extension. The most important thing for us is to connect the M3U8 of your variable or other players that you have inside of LETSCAST player, so it recognizes what it needs to do and makes the delivery of the services seamless and interactive for the audience. So for those of you who don't know about M3U8, you may want to research, because codecs are changing, RTMPs are phasing out. There are going to be new generation of codecs announced. As I am involved with various parties in EBU or ABU and various organizations, they're all publishing various white papers, codec standards, new changes that is coming out that is going to embrace higher equipment utilization, better video resolution, and so forth. So we want you to be mindful about those transitional strategies. Currently, we do many, but some of the highlights just to point out that we can do is YouTube, Vimeo, Akamai, Twitch, Restream, Caster, Google, AWS, Minicast, Nano, Strivecast, JW Player, Flow Player, and many others that we are adding to our library into the AI player. So the general idea is one player plays it all. And that's really what we were striving for, versus in ICD and Room, we have embedded many players that when you embed content, it automatically knows what player to pick up. So we really took a practical approach, so to speak, on looking at it from a upside down pyramid, that media player to be the focal point of that upside down and accommodating all kinds of things without any kind of confusion. So LETSCAST is really a feature product that we are going to provide. It is comparably, if you go to look at, for example, Amazon Prime for Let's Share a Movie or Watch Party, you will find it very similar to that layout. Although we pioneered this, other companies are following. But with the accommodation of services that we are doing in this kind of organizations and services that we have, because of our diversity and knowledge and know-how, most organizations that they work with us, they really have a video first strategies, and they want to make sure that video first strategy applies to their KPI, to their deliverable, and then obviously content speaks for itself. So with that in mind, I want to thank you for having us on your screen. Be sure to join us once a month, that we will be featuring guests and clients, and we will be using ourselves, LETSCAST and ZimZim and other technologies that we have to showcase content, educate you, entertain you, and hopefully earn your opportunities that you're about to have with your other clients. Cheers and have a great one. Thank you.